Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade and Panzer King. Welcome to the Lions Den in Prince George, British Columbia. So this is day 3 of our playtest, but actually what happened was the guys from out of town, they left town last night. They were tired, and there's a lot of reasons, and it's I don't blame them. It's hard to do 3 days of this when you're just learning and playtesting it. Like, I was okay with them leaving, let me put it to you that way. I like the fact that I could just get up this morning and have a coffee and do nothing, because I've been, getting this game ready for weeks now, and really hard playing the last couple days. That's one thing that, like, I talked to Robert this morning, the guy that did a lot of the work on this game. I wonder if there's a way to shorten the game a bit so that maybe this game was 2 days long, whereas V3 takes us 3 days. So whatever it takes you, V3, this version will be a little bit shorter in terms of how long it takes to play. And it's still the same game though. How could we do that? Because then people will have the option. They'll have the option, okay, well, we only have 2 days this weekend, so let's play 14. Or maybe they got a 3-day weekend and they get together for 36, you know what I mean? Or maybe it only takes you a day to play this game. You could certainly do that without the prequel, right? If somehow the game was a little quicker to play, just in length of time. So that is something that, just the kind of feedback that I was given to Robert this morning and stuff. And he talked about it. And so what might happen, like what was going to happen? Here, let me just take this camera here and move it somewhere else for a while. What was going to happen was I was going to pack all this up after we were done and take it home and set it up at my house and then play test myself this fall, right? And so I told him that, and he was saying, well, it's too bad there's no way we could play test with each other, like by email or something. I said, why don't you just, you're on YouTube, just start making videos, right? We can play a YouTube game, but it would be a play test. And so he thought that was a good idea. And I don't know that this is going to happen or not. It's not just up to the two of us what happens with this game either. So who knows? That might be something coming to a video screen near you that we could be play testing online. And then you could be commenting and stuff. We'll see. But I got to tell you though, I really, really like the game. There was a couple of things that I thought could change, but I think it's the best World War I game I've played, for sure. Like, it's 100 times better than the Axis and Allies game, and I didn't mind that game. And to me it was predictable, but I didn't mind it. Take a look at these boats here, the size of that Navy. They all just landed in Denmark too. Anyway, so I really, really like it though. I like a lot of the things. There's only a couple of things that I would change, and that's good, because I tell you, when we played it last summer, Rank Carcass and we were both shaking our heads, and we just said, let's just change the rules right now, or for what it's worth, play test, because it just wasn't. It didn't make much sense to us. There was too much stuff, too complicated, and so things have been simplified. And more things have gone the way of the mechanics of 36, I believe, than they were a year ago. And so that makes it easy, right? Like, there was big swaths of the rule book that I didn't even need to read, because I'm getting pretty good with the 36 rules now. Like, all the attacking and defense and convoy rating and stuff like that. There might have been 1 or 2 little changes in those things, so I could just read through the rules really, really quickly and get to the diplomacy stuff and some of the different unit types and things like that. Those are the kind of things that I needed to learn, right? And some of the mechanics, like there's obviously some different mechanics as well, but big parts of the two games are exactly the same. And in 36 is a pretty good game. Like, I think it's the best game out there. So I'm happy that the game is like that. I'm really happy with the way the diplomacy is done in this game, and the cards and stuff like that. And the only thing I'm not happy with was the way I played this game. I got to tell you, I was so busy with doing all this stuff, and so busy looking up rules for everybody. Like, I was the guy, what about this, Brian? And so I'd be reading through. And so when it was come to be my turn, I just put my stuff down here, and I'd start playing my turn, right? What I wasn't doing was playing the game over here. And so there was some simple things I could have done, to make it a lot easier on the Germans, right? But, like that would have created different problems as well. And I don't think this game is over because I could still do those things, right? Like these guys here are right here, and so are all the other guys. I could just come up this way. I could, I could have done it before the navies got here and took out Denmark. I could have put down transports. There's lots of things I could have done. So I didn't play as good a game as I would have liked. I was kind of preoccupied and tired, and I got outplayed too, right? New to this game and everything as well, and we were all scratching our heads with some of the things, right? But I liked so much of it, and I loved playing Japan. That was fun. I got to play him as the German player, and it was neat. It was neat playing Japan in this game. It was really tough when we were trying over the last year to figure out how we could include Asia into the war, because there was some tensions over there, but it wasn't like they were building up and fighting navies over here, right? It just wasn't happening. So it's tough to stretch any game out to the rest of the world, even though they called it World War, even though the war was just fought, basically here, right? That's where the war was fought. So bringing it over there was tough. But I liked the way they did it. I really, really liked it. And need more. I'd like to play more to find out the different combinations of things that can happen, like the Japanese go the other way. China never rolled a dice in this game, but like the intention is that they would be involved as well. So I didn't get to see that involvement that happened. I think that the Central Powers are losing the game, and a lot of it's because of this Navy here. I think I could come back here because it's still early in the game. I still can go this way. It's no problem. I just go there now, right? It's my turn, but it's these navies though, and the Americans can declare the war this turn, so I think it's too late to do something like that. One of the things that we talked about was the import rules. See, he doesn't even have to leave any ships down there because those guys are too scared to come out of their ports. So he was able to concentrate all his ships up here. So lots of things could have been done in this game, and then that's why you play test more than one game, right? Anyway, I'm going to pass it over to Panzer King for a minute. He's going to talk while I take a drink. My throat is getting dry. There you go.
Hey guys, yeah, like I say, I can pretty much say word for word. I completely agree with what Brian has said. I don't have anything to really disagree about because I see it firsthand. We played it firsthand and we lost firsthand over the whole game. But
actually, we didn't lose. They lost because they left. So yeah. That's a surrender. I'm taking it as a win.
Yeah, we'll see how Jinx takes that. But
you'll be driving back here today.
But that's true. And so sometimes when you're playtesting a game, you forget you're playtesting and you want to win, right? And sometimes you want to, or you should point out certain things to other players, and sometimes that got missed between others, and sometimes you're competitive where you got secret plans to do something with, but of course, just to implement and see how it works. And so there's different ways of playtesting, right? But all in all, I'm very happy I played it, but I think the biggest thing that's on my mind right now is if this was a 2-day game, how amazing that would be. If it was 2 days, like if Brian and I had a weekend or something like that, all we got is 2 days, yeah, we can't really complete a 36 game, but oh wait, Global War 1914, that's a 2-day game, and it's a 2-player game, 2 sides.
And it's a great game.
Let's pull that out. Of course, you might have to take half a day just to set it up, but that's one option, right? And that would be a cool thing to complement 36. 36 could be the king on the block, and then of course you got the prince or the smaller game that would just help complement it, and you could play that first one weekend, and then if you had a long weekend coming up, then you could play the second game, 36, right? So it is a cool game. I didn't even get into technology because I didn't roll much for technology. I think one completed between my 2 nations, but they are lesser of a lot of the major powers. But just even figuring out observation balloons and just a different dynamic, and knowing how to actually properly play the manpower situation in certain areas, I think redoing that would make it a lot more fun because you got more restrictions, And I think it would just balance it out perhaps a little bit more, well, probably in everybody's favor, but this way then perhaps Africa could have stayed a little bit longer into the possessions of the Central Powers, but like I say, you never know. And that's the thing, I think you have to play 2, 3, or even much more play tests to really experience the different options and get a very good overall feeling of the game and a bigger view of how this game is. But at the end of the day, my heart will always be in 36. I think that's probably very common for a lot of people. But Brian said it the best. This game is probably the best World War I game to date. That being said, though, I think it has room for improvement, and hopefully that will probably happen in the next half year, by the end of this year, and we'll see if this game ends up on the shelves or online for you guys to buy and enjoy.
Or you just come over to my house and play it.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, guys, I'll pass it back to GHD again.
Alrighty. I tell you, to me, the biggest improvements of the game since I played it last summer, so that iteration of the game, is this stuff over here. The diplomacy and the card system. Really, really, really like that. What I'm talking about is things that aren't in 36. Sure, they have a diplomacy thing in 36, but it's not like this. This is so much cooler. There's a tweak that I'd like to do to this that I think that would make it better, because really, I mean, you look, nobody influenced any of the neutrals. Everybody was too interested in being defensive. Look at all that white stuff on there. The last 2 times I played this game, down in Tulsa and at my house last year, there was not that much white stuff left on the board by this time, right? So some kind of thing that would help you to get to the end without being taken. Like I just found that, I'd get up to here, even with a couple of them, and then by the time it was my turn again, they got some decent luck rolling on the other side, and there's a bunch of nations, it would be back down to here, and like every time. This is the only one I got up there, right? And that's because I won that revolution on the board, right? And so it was fair to everybody. It's just that these units didn't get into the game, and they still might have later, but nobody was going to change their tactic on the board over there. So it may be some kind of little tweak to help that out. But this was really, really cool. Like where you just pulled the cards and, and it tells you to do something, right? And so we were pulling 4 per turn. And yeah, that does add a bit of time to the game. But I liked it better than, say, if you had a chart and it said roll a d12 this turn, and then you pick number 11 and it tells you to do this. I love the fact that even just the feel of picking the card and reading it out to everybody, and then groaning or cheering, and then going and doing that thing, right? And there's lots of interesting stuff in here. I really, really like the idea of this card system. I was saying to Bob, I think we should make a card thing for 36, right? Similar to that. And just as an expansion set, like that would be really cool. It's such a good idea. But anyway, yeah, lots of fun. It was great having those guys up here. It was really nice to meet Ben. That was the first time I met him. And it's good to see Jinx again. And I appreciate all the help that they gave me, and I especially appreciate the help the Panzer King gave me, playing at his house. And he cooked us all a nice big breakfast yesterday, and, oh darn, we don't have enough of these rounders. I got some. He had everything we needed, you know what I mean? He's even got a fridge right there, so, like everything he does and everything, I'm sure glad that we found each other in this town. He responded to a little thing that I put up in a game store, if you want to play Axis and Allies, this was years ago, right? Then call me, and I put my number up there, right? And he was one of only 2 or 3 people over months that called me. And the other guys I just never did connect with, right? And, even get together with. But he did, and so here, this is where it's led us, right? He's made himself just quite the little war room here. Changed a couple of things. So anyway, it's great that to have guys to get together and to play stuff like this. Like I mean, for the people who enjoy this thing, obviously for people who probably rather play a video game or couldn't be bothered with games at all, then yeah, this is not your game, because it is pretty hefty, right? And maybe that's the reason to shorten it too, is because it's really hefty, and you're messed up by that after 2 days. We played all day and all evening last 2 days, and I was really happy to wake up this morning and not have to start playing again. As much as I like it, right? But yeah, I think it's a great game, and I can't wait to play test it again. So I'm gonna say goodbye now, not talk too much about it, because I don't know what kind of changes will be made. And plus, I'd just be reiterating things that I said last night, when I talked about it at the end of the video and things like that. So yeah, anyway, from the Lions Den, thanks for joining us this weekend, and take care, everyone. Say goodbye, Pansy King.
Stay classy, everyone.
Take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.